As the ash-filled wind howled outside their makeshift shelter, Esun found herself teaching young Nasun the delicate art of heat manipulation. The cave's crystalline walls sparkled with the soft orange glow of their practice sessions. Through careful movements, they learned to draw warmth from the earth itself, creating pockets of comfort in this harsh world. What started as simple survival lessons slowly transformed into intimate moments of connection as mother and daughter shared not just knowledge, but also stories of the past. However, during one particularly intense session, Nasun accidentally tapped into something deeper, an ancient warmth that felt almost alive, pulsing beneath the surface. The cave walls began to hum with an unfamiliar resonance, and both Origines knew they had stumbled upon something that perhaps should have remained dormant. Alabaster's teachings began to make more sense to Esun as she explored the deeper connections between Origines and the planet's core. The stone eater, Hoa, watched silently as she practiced channeling energy in ways she never thought possible. Each attempt brought new revelations, but also strange visions, glimpses of ancient cities and forgotten civilizations. The breakthrough came unexpectedly, when a minor tremor revealed patterns in the Earth's movement that seemed almost like a language. As Essen decoded these patterns, she realized with growing unease that the planet itself might be trying to communicate something urgent. The question was, did she really want to know what it was trying to say? The comm they discovered seemed abandoned at first glance, but Essen knew better. Hidden beneath the ruins, they found a library of sorts, tablets and crystals containing information about orogeny that predated the Fulcrum's teachings. As Hoa translated the ancient texts, each revelation brought both wonder and horror. The power they could access was far greater than anything taught in modern times, but the cost of wielding it was terrifying. When Nasun successfully attempted one of these ancient techniques, the resulting surge of power attracted unwanted attention. As strange lights appeared on the horizon and the ground began to tremble, they realized their discovery might have just triggered something they couldn't control. The last page of the crystal text revealed a warning, but it was already too late. The earth had begun to respond to their awakening. The warm evening air carried whispers of change as Essen approached the hidden valley. Crystal formations scattered the dying sunlight, creating an ethereal dance of colors across the weathered stone walls. She could feel the familiar vibrations beneath her feet, a symphony of power that spoke of another Origine's presence. Her heart quickened at the realization. After months of searching, the traces were unmistakable. Alabaster's unique signature in the earth called to her like a beacon. The comm she discovered wasn't just any settlement. It was a sanctuary woven with old magic and older secrets. As she descended the winding path, shadows of stone eaters flickered at the edge of her vision, their crystalline forms both beautiful and terrifying. The comm's inhabitants watched from their windows, their faces a mixture of awe and fear as she passed. They knew what she was, what she represented, but it was the figure standing at the center of the comm that made her breath catch. A silhouette she thought she'd never see again. Within the ancient chamber, Hoa watched as the threads of destiny began to weave together. The stone eater's unchanging face betrayed nothing, but beneath the surface, centuries of planning were finally coming to fruition. Schaffer's arrival had shifted everything, his presence both a threat and an unexpected ally. The chamber hummed with old power, its walls inscribed with patterns that seemed to move in the flickering light of floating crystal shards. When Tonki discovered the hidden mechanisms, the entire chamber transformed, revealing maps of ley lines that crisscrossed the stillness. But it was the central revelation that changed everything. The true purpose of the obelisks floating in the sky, and why the stone eaters had been guiding them all along. As the chamber's secrets unfolded, a distant rumble shook the earth, and the obelisks began to pulse with an ancient rhythm. The convergence of powers shook the very foundations of their understanding. As Essen and Alabaster combined their abilities, the true cost of their reunion became clear. The obelisks responded to their joint power, creating a spectacle of light and energy that pierced the ashen sky. But with each surge of power, Alabaster's condition worsened, his body slowly transforming into something other than human. Hoa's warnings echoed in Essen's mind as she struggled to maintain control. The Com's inhabitants gathered to witness the impossible, Origines working together openly, defying generations of fear and prejudice. Yet in the midst of this display, Schaffer's memories began to return, bringing with them revelations that threatened to unravel everything they thought they knew about the Guardians, the Fulcrum, and the very nature of the seasons themselves. As night fell, the sky above blazed with the light of approaching obelisks, and deep beneath the earth, something ancient began to stir. The ancient chamber beneath the abandoned comm station pulsed with an otherworldly glow. Essen traced her fingers along crystalline walls that seemed to hum with memories of a forgotten age. Here, among the remnants of the old world, she finally understood why the Stone Eaters had been watching her so intently. The chamber revealed itself as a repository of truth, each crystal face reflecting fragments of a past she had desperately tried to forget. Alabaster's warnings echoed in her mind as the room's secrets began to unfold. The air grew thick with orogeny, making every breath feel like drawing in liquid silver. When the first memory crystal activated, its light bathed the chamber in amber hues, revealing truths about her identity that she had buried deeper than any fault line. Hoa's revelation hit harder than any seasoned storm. Standing in the crystal chamber, his stone form shifting between solid and fluid states, he showed Esun what she had been all along. The memories cascaded through her consciousness like falling shards of glass. Her life as Cyanite, as Damaya, all the pieces finally aligning into a single, devastating truth. The chamber's crystals resonated with each revelation, their harmonics building to a crescendo that threatened to shatter both stone and sanity. Meanwhile, in the passages above, Tonki's frantic calculations began making a terrible kind of sense. The ancient equations weren't just about power. They were about transformation, about becoming something that even the Guardians feared. As the final truths emerged from the crystal archives, the chamber's energy reached a fever pitch. Essen stood at its center, power coursing through her like lightning through a rod, while Hoa and Steel circled each other in an ancient dance of rivalry. The knowledge came at a terrible price, each revelation burning through her mind like acid, each truth carrying the weight of centuries. The chamber's crystals began to crack under the pressure of contained power, their light painting desperate shadows on the walls. When Steel made his move, it wasn't what anyone expected. The choice before Essen became clear: accept what she had become, and risk losing her humanity, or reject her true nature, and doom the world to endless seasons. Above ground, the sky turned the color of blood, and the earth began to tremble with anticipation. As dawn broke over the fractured landscape, Essen felt the earth's pulse beneath her feet, growing stronger with each passing moment. The ancient obelisks hovering in the ash-filled sky began to align, their crystalline surfaces reflecting an otherworldly light that painted the clouds in hues of amber and violet. Alabaster's warnings echoed in her mind as she prepared for what would become the most significant moment in the history of the stillness. Around her, the stone eaters gathered in their marble-like silence, their intentions still a mystery even in these final moments. Hoa stood closest to her, his silver eyes reflecting centuries of patience finally coming to fruition. The ground beneath them trembled, not with destruction, but with possibility. The convergence of power surged through the ancient network of obelisks, each one humming with energy that hadn't been witnessed since the time of the shattering. Esun's daughter, Nasun, approached from the east, her young face bearing wisdom far beyond her years. The air between mother and daughter crackled with unspoken words and raw power. Stone eaters moved like liquid mercury through the earth, positioning themselves for what was to come. As the obelisk's song reached its crescendo, time itself seemed to fold and unfold, revealing glimpses of both past and future. Hoa's presence became more substantial, his true nature finally revealing itself in ways that left even the most hardened origins in awe. In the final moments, as reality itself bent to the will of those who could reshape the world, Esun made her choice. The power flowing through the obelisk network reached its peak, and the very foundations of the stillness began to shift. Nasun's role became clear as mother and daughter worked in harmony for the first time, their combined power reshaping the world, not through destruction, but through transformation. Hoa's millennia-long plan unfolded as the stone eaters revealed their true purpose. The sky cleared of ash for the first time in centuries, and a new kind of silence fell over the land, not the silence of death and survival, but of rebirth and possibility. As the new dawn broke, the world they knew ceased to exist, and something entirely new took its place, leaving those who remained to wonder what this transformation would mean for the future of humanity.
Thank you for venturing into this realm with me. If you crave more enchanted worlds, mythical battles, and secrets whispered from ancient pages, join the Guild of Storybound Explorers. Subscribe now and ring the bell to unlock every new quest the moment it drops. The next chapter awaits. Will you answer the call?